it with KeKe, full of personalities, switching up the storyline on God, we making history. Writing books, changing lives, one day at a time. Put your problems to the side, enjoy yourself, free your mind. Kicking it with KeKe.
Hey, you guys, welcome to another episode of Kicking It with KeKe, Life, Love, and all that other shit. I am your host, Author KeKe Chanel. When I'm not writing books that empower and inspire other people to live their best life, I am a certified writing coach as well as a life coach. Today, I am joined with Dave D.O., which is David Oliver. And he is an actor and teacher and motivational speaker, all kind of stuff. He do so much. He does so much. But before we talk to David, I am joined with co-host Real Talk with Tim. Tim, say hello to the people.
What's up? What's up, everybody? It's your boy Tim, host of Real Talk with Tim. Y'all already know what it is. Y'all can search up my podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, and iHeartRadio.
Look, ain't nobody tell you to plug that right now. I'm gonna give you a chance to plug your stuff. You jumping the gun, but that's how you do. But it's all love. It's all love. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming to co-host with me again today. I like to give my guests the opportunity to introduce themselves. So, Dave, I'm gonna turn it over to you, and you tell the people who you are and what you do.
Oh crap! Well, we gotta have a half hour just on that alone.
Yeah, you wear a lot of hats, sir.
Yeah. Hello, people. My name is David. You're from the neighborhood Loud Foul Mouth, and I'm your actor, writer, director, host, and recently producer of an entire 2 festivals.
Oh wow.
So I've done a lot, but mostly my thing was always business first. So that's the thing I be practicing to people, and a lot of entertainers don't understand that. So I created this thing called Fandom to Stardom, which is a program that allows entertainers to not only have a place to come and chit chat with others, but share not just tips, but life experiences that could turn into a valuable commodity to somebody else. And that's what we do. And also give people who are starting out a chance to get out of smaller markets, to get into the larger markets like New York, LA, and Atlanta. And then on top of that, thanks to my management, I'm now a talent scout and acting coach.
Absolutely. Well, kudos and much success. That's a lot. That's a big resume, man.
Hey, man, when she said you wear a lot of hats, man, she ain't joking.
Yeah.
I ain't even hit half of it, bro. I didn't even get to the talent. I just left that alone. I don't even go there yet.
Listen, but we're gonna tap into that today. But it brings me to this topic because you just talk about your talent scout, and you help actors get to bigger platforms. So I want to talk about. Go ahead.
Let me be clear. It covers not only acting but entertainment. Period.
Right.
Production, religion, and politics. Because I get a lot.
Religion and politics. How that work? Like how you? Oh wow.
It's all production and it's all business. At the end of the day.
At the end of the day.
Like when I had to do a friend's wedding, when a wedding planner got sick, it was the same thing as shooting a music video.
So your focus is you mainly deal with like the marketing of all these, like, I hate to say small time people, but everybody just starting out. You deal with like marketing and all that, help to get them to get to a larger like audience and all of that.
Well, mostly mid to upper level companies is what I go for, because like this was the thing I'm doing right now for the DC Funk Parade. The musicianship is a nonprofit that works for programs for kids that are coming out of school in the summer and after school programs, and they got year-round stuff. So they picked up these 2 events, but I'm more like a chaos control guy. Like once you get something going, you call me to put it back on track.
Okay, the fixer. He's the closer. He closing it up. Yes. I hear you. So how did you get? Let's talk about the entertainment, like, for a little bit. When did you know that was supposed to be a part of your purpose? When did you know that entertainment was what Dave wanted to do?
I didn't.
Oh, you kind of fell into it.
Because I support other people. That's why Fandom to Stardom is what it is. Because let's just say, for example, you guys say, "Hey, Dave, we want to be the next Oprah Winfrey or Ryan Seacrest or Tyler Perry." Okay. I would say, "Okay, man, I got you. Let's go figure out what they did. The real stuff, not the fluff. right? And we'll go break it down, but for whatever reason, notice I can't say the word excuses anymore. It's not politically correct. My voice carries weight now, so I can't tell you had an excuse. You had a reason. And you fell out. So I see the opportunities and the information on the floor, and I say, well, let me see if somebody else can do it or I can do it, because this is too much. And over time, it just started building up, because I was always a dancer.
Oh,
that was this thing as a kid. And then Kung Fu came in. And then my grandparents didn't have a lot of money, so a lot of stuff was self-taught,
So you was like Bruce Leroy, you was doing all that?
Oh, I was more, man. I was 5 Deadly Venoms. He knows. Everybody knows 5 Deadly Venoms, baby. That's the primary. If it ain't Bruce Lee, it's 5 Deadly Venoms. So
wow. Okay.
I was Lizard before I was anything else.
Okay. Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
So listen, so for somebody like me, right? I'm trying to get like 100% understanding of it, right? So by me being a small time podcaster right now, how would you help somebody like me get to like a larger audience, bigger platform, and all of that?
It starts with this destination. That's first. A lot of people, they tell me things, right? But they never say really what they want at the end of the day. Because if you don't give me destination, like people keep trying to strive to be so unique, and I keep telling them, you're not. I work at the patent office, okay? And I'm gonna tell you, a shirt is a shirt, a pair of pants is a pair of pants. The designs are what makes them different.
Right.
So you would tell me, Dave, I want to be the next such and such, or I want my podcast to be at the level of such and such, right? Then I would say, okay, break that down. Are they your competition? Are they similar to you in some kind of way? Break that down for me. Then I understand the aspiration. Then I'll get to your inspiration, which is what got you started on that path in the first place. Once I got those three things, then we can retro engineer. Because once we do that, then I get facts and figures together for you. We do a couple of work samples, and then we do a little bit of branding, like testing it out, and then bring it back in. And then we'll see what the audience begin to connect to. And then once we do that, then we go get sponsors and investors.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yes, it
Make
does.
a lot of sense.
So that brings me to like a topic. Go ahead.
Just to you know, real quick. Notice I never say small time.
Right.
Never said your size, because that's something that's always happening, no matter how big the name or brand or company you're talking about. They're constantly doing that. And I learned that from the set. I'm on set with Fox executives and Showtime, HBO, and they all saying the same thing to each other. You can hear the conversation. It's constantly ongoing. It never changes.
Yeah. And look, you were on one of my favorite shows, Gotham. Like, I was like, okay, this is who's gonna be on my podcast. Like, he was on Gotham.
What, the show?
The show. Yes.
What episode you was in? I'm gonna go look at it.
Season 2, I want to say episode 14 of Mud and Madness is the title of the show. I actually get to play. Let me tell you the story behind that. You want to talk about how it come about?
Yeah.
My manager and I one night having a conversation about shows that she submit me for, and I just told her I don't want to do Empire. I don't want to do Scandal. Mind you, they're at the height of their shows. They're top shows for blacks, and I said I don't want them. She's like, "What?" I said, "No, I've been watching them shows. They don't do nothing for large male actors, especially black actors. They don't do nothing for us. It's either you standing back there, open up somebody's door, grabbing their ID." But I watch shows like Flash, Minority Report, and what was the other joint? Legend that was on Legion that was on Sci-Fi Channel.
Okay.
And they would do so much with black actors, especially mature black actors, that I was inspired. And I said, see, and then I told her business-wise, the longevity of those shows is incredible if they get picked up. And I'm still getting paid from Gotham 5 years later.
Right. I love that series. I hate it when it ended.
And 2 weeks later, I'm a dog. I end up at the thing. I thought she was playing. No, a week later, she calls me. I thought she was playing with me. She was serious. I was sick. The next day, I go up there. My raspy voice is what got me the role.
And I was just about to say that because you sound totally different from. I just thought you just made that voice up.
No, I was sick.
You know what? I got my phone right here. I'm gonna while y'all talking, I'm gonna go.
Oh, you can go to my Instagram page and see it, bro.
Yeah,
right there.
What was the Instagram page?
David Theo, THEOH. It's all the same. It's all about branding.
Look,
Oh, okay. I'll check it out because that
and
was
he
my
has
show.
he sent me. I have to send it to you, but I ain't gonna be able to do that right now. But anyway, that listen, listeners, if you're tuning in on YouTube, y'all get to see all this behind the scenes madness that's going on. Like Tim looking up something, Dave over here laughing. Here I am, like, okay. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the opposite of having the crabs in the barrel mentality, because you just said that you do a lot for people. So it's kind of like you're giving all of the information. You don't want to just keep it for yourself. You want other people to flourish and thrive. You're putting yourself out there to help them. How has that been for you as the person that you are behind the scenes, like getting them discovered as being an actor as well, producer and director and all of that stuff? How has that the opposite spectrum of it, you putting out there, do you find that they take what you say and apply it, or they're making excuses or reasons?
Exactly. Because the thing about it is quite taxing. And I just had a conversation with a friend of mine earlier. He just had a wake-up call, if you will, and it just hit him. But I was letting him know, you're 2 years behind the ball, bro. I was hitting you with this 2 years ago, and then again 6 months ago. But I did something that he wasn't expecting, and now it's clicking in his head. I still kept the business and things going so that once he got well, he wouldn't have to look back or try to catch up. It was already there. All he has to do is get well, step in, and things are moving along. Now, that's about, say, 10% of the people I would talk to. Another, say, 60% are just what I call askholes. Y'all might have heard the term ASK. And it's people who ask a ton of questions, but really have no aspirations or desires to do anything with it.
No action.
So what's the point were you asking for? Did you think this was a hobby to me? You know what I'm saying? Sorry if you did. Bad mistake, but it's your mistake.
Right.
And then there's only, and I haven't even got to a proper number, but it's only 3% that actually move.
Wow, that's a low number.
Yeah. When I started my company, Magnificent Production, which is a temp agency for entertainment, it's like I said to all the people, I'm what you would call a production coordinator. Somebody has a TV show, film, wedding, whatever. You call me, I get the talent, I get the crew, I get the staff. You take the contract, sign a check, everything's handled. I get my commission off of you, they get their payment off of you, and everybody goes home.
So let me ask you a question. Have you ever had or tried to seek a reoccurring role in a show?
It's always. Like literally just before you guys, this guy got on here with you guys, I was just doing a self-tape for a commercial that's supposed to be a 2-3 day thing. And then last week, do I still got the gag order? Oh, Paco says no. Okay. The gag order allows me to only talk so much, but I'm constantly reading for TV shows, commercials, and stuff that you're reading right now, even for animation.
Yeah, because talk about Grand Theft Auto, man.
Oh, wait a minute. To really answer your question, no one never wants to do the one and doners. Everybody wants to constant work, because think of it like this. You go to work today, you make $30,000, right? When they get done clapping, you're fired.
Wow.
You get it? You see what I'm saying? So you're like, yeah, 30,000, baby, and you're done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you never want to let it go, because when you realize what you're doing for that one day to make that kind of money, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
I think I want to do this on a regular basis.
Right. So, I mean, why do you believe that it's only that 3%? Why do you believe that number is so low? Do you think that people are afraid to step out of their comfort zones, or they're afraid of failure, or what?
It goes back to this initial question. When he asked me to take his podcast to another level, what would I do to him, right? Just like I did to the young gentleman I talked to last night, and the young lady who called me Sunday night, who has a daughter who's artistic, right? It's all about your learning curve. You have to understand yourself at the end of the day, no matter whether it's me, Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry. We can't do nothing for you if you're afraid to fail and you're afraid to learn your truth. Meaning, if you're happy doing it to this level, and you can outdo all the other podcasters, and both of y'all can outdo all the podcasters in your space. That's 50 podcasters. But what about that 51?
Right.
That 51 is already in sight with Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry's company and BET, but you ain't. Why?
That
and
mindset.
I get right there on the cusp because they know themselves. The truth is now coming out. So it's not comfort zone at this level, is what I tell people. It's not comfort zone. That's easy for somebody to start now. Oh yeah, you're afraid to get out the comfort zone. But I'm talking about is, you done talked yourself into a hole. You know you only got two things to do. Do it or lie and continue doing what you're doing.
Wow.
And hope for the opportunity to come that will let you just slide in.
Right.
It's working.
How often do you help other people to get in the same position that you in?
Every day. Like literally just before you called, a client of mine from last fall is on some group on Facebook, and some guy asked for an acting coach, and she posted me. And I'm sitting there, how did he get my direct number instead of my Google number? And I forgot she's one of the ones I had on my thing, and her daughter, I mean, amazing 14-year-old, man. And I didn't think nothing about it, but it was just a great thing. And so people like that come, and then like the kids I got to interview with once I get done with you guys are from American University. And I just happened to run into them at an event where they were donating free food and clothes. And everybody thought I worked for that organization, but I was there to watch the band that I'm hiring for my festival. And they didn't know who I was. So they had never seen me. They only heard my voice.
Right.
So my voice they knew, but they didn't know me. So I'm standing there, everybody looking at me like I worked there, and I'm just joking, farting around, talking to the kids. And I said, okay, the professor is never going to tell them how to deal with a hostile environment where we were. Right. The professors are going to show them how to do something. And exactly to the note, the girl that was interviewing had to show them how to do the tripod. I'm telling them how to do interviews and how to be a host, whole gamut. That's why they want to work with me, and I'm gonna get them internships at a nonprofit.
Wow.
Hey, so look,
amazing.
I checked out your Instagram profile quickly. So I saw that you do voiceovers, right? So how invested are you into doing voiceovers?
I do it
every day. Specifically voiceovers.
I do it every day.
Every day.
See, what you got to understand when you talk about me, any and everything you see me do is an everyday thing.
You do all of them every day.
It's not, no. At any given moment, my agent could send me something. Like literally before you guys were supposed to get up, I got the thing. I had to do this at 4:00, and then another agent in Virginia sent me something, right? I had to give her pictures of me doing regular everyday stuff. And then just last week, I had to read for Cartoon Network. Before that, I had to read for Showtime. So it's never a thing of on and off. When you're at this level, at this level, there's no on and off.
So do you have one thing that you just love more than the other? Or it's just all around? You just an entertainer, so you do it all.
No, I just love performance. So it doesn't matter the format or genre. The thing that's most important, and the reason why I'm hosting these events and I declined to pay for one event, was to ensure that they had the money for the talent, because they are up and coming. They don't have the luxury like I do to have a full-time job with high flexibility, and then to get paid for projects currently, and then getting paid for 5-6 years for projects you did 6 years ago. So they don't have that luxury. So I said, no, keep your money. I'm getting this, put it so we can put this contest together. I want up-and-coming artists to have a platform. So basically, I'm sponsoring the contest that I created, and then that took off. So it's the joy of people learning what's around the corner from them. And being in DC is a small market. So if you guys don't understand, DC is known as a copy city, even though it's one of the original chocolate cities.
Is that where you based out of?
Yeah.
Oh, so we both out here.
Where are you at?
I mean, I'm in Virginia right now. I'm in Alexandria, but I work in DC. I work in DC though.
Yeah, so then you understand the culture. That's why I had a feeling you're saying stuff that reflects the area that I'm living in. So now I understand why you're lying.
So I got a good co-host.
Because see, he's like the gentleman that talked to me on Sunday that's a part of the band. He didn't know what I was. And then every time I said something to him, he just kept questioning the legitimacy of what I was saying. I'm looking at him like, to what avail, bro? He kept saying, I don't want to offend you. It's like you hear a lot of guys wailing. He knows what that means. You probably don't.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys be welling around. And I looked at him, I said, son, look at where we standing. I said, do you know that next week you got to perform at a festival downtown with a bunch of anime and costume people? He said, yeah. Do you know that you're now headliner and y'all knocked Trouble Funk out of the league? He said, what? I said, exactly. So that's who you're talking to. Then when he saw the stuff and the other guy of the band who already knew me told him what time it was, he's like, oh man, yeah. And I said, here's the thing, because he kept saying he wants to do something different. I said, what you're really trying to do is where you can take your culture. You can take the culture anywhere you go. I said, look at the video game. If you watch the video game, my friend who grew up with me since we were 6 months old said, man, you took it straight southeast, not West Coast, southeast.
Well, talk about the video game. Talk about the video game for listeners who don't know what you're talking about. Because we talked about this a little bit. Just tell them about the video game.
Well, the video game is the Grand Theft Auto DLC contract or online version. And I gotta laugh.
I played that, FYI.
Okay, this is gonna get you. The reason why I can't say so much is because not because of the gag order is clear. I don't know nothing because they didn't tell us nothing the whole time.
Wow.
I'm working.
So hold on. So you about to be a part of a DLC that's about to come out on the game?
Oh, he don't understand. I think Tim need to catch up with us.
Yeah.
Tim, the game
is out.
I am burning. If you played the game,
No. Grand Theft Auto 5, right? I
don't know if it's 5. It says DLC contract online. I'm a part of the expansion game. I'm burning the leader of the Familiars, and in order for you to get Dr. Dre back his phone, you got to go on 3 missions with me.
Oh.
So when I do it, it's like, oh snap! And because I remember meeting some kids at an event in February for Mardi Gras, and we just talking, and I told them what I do, and I said to one guy, I said, yeah, you know about Grand Theft Auto? I'm trying to figure out how the people know it. He said, oh yeah, man, I just played it yesterday. I said, well, look, take a look. And I showed him on my phone, and he was like, oh snap, I was just playing with you yesterday. He had no idea who I was.
I ain't played it in a minute, so I don't even know. I thought that was going to be part of the new one. So.
Well, I don't know. They just dropped these things. Yeah. Like, we shot it in September. I swear to you, I can't give away their secret name. I can't even give away their trade secrets on how they do. Everybody said the mocap suit. Yeah, but they do it differently. Rockstar is total different. They're like Marvel, bro. It was like applying for a government job. You hear me?
Wow. Yeah.
Crazy. It was that deep. I mean, the same paperwork 3-4 times. I'm like, didn't I just say that? Didn't I just say that? And then you get in the building. They wouldn't even let the lady in the building that was the driver that they hired. She needed to go to the bathroom. She couldn't even get in the building. He's like, no, you got to go to the other side. I was like, God,
wow.
Man, what are we protecting in this building? And I walked in, I'm like,
just in awe.
Yeah.
And then they strapped me in. I'm like, ooh, okay, this is tight. And then I get back there, he strapped the thing on my head, all up in my nose. I'm like, am I anything? Anything? And, and it was like, they set us up, I guess because of COVID, we just had our own man cave, which was hilarious. We had the ice box full of different type of drinks. We had to bring in breakfast and lunch and dinner. We had pool tables, we had pinball. It was gamers inside a game.
Wow.
And then we went and shot. So I tell anybody, it's the equivalent of playing laser tag.
Okay.
With your friend.
With your friends. Wow. That's awesome.
Hilarious. Hey, have you ever been offered an opportunity from a major TV show or whoever and like turned it down because you didn't want to, I don't know, in back of your mind, you didn't want to work with them?
Well, no, I see that, and that's another thing about business. I explained that to my manager and agents up front. Like right now, they won't call me for anything under $2,500 unless it's something quick, right? Like, because I got such a good rapport with them and the casting directors that they all know if it's something quick that I can come in and do my bit for a second and then dip out, that's what I do. But for something like that, you have to tell them up front. That's why I was getting mad at people who they say they're afraid to tell somebody something. Like, why? If you don't believe in smoking or drinking or drugging, or you got a trauma from being raped or something, why would you do it? Tell them up front. Like I had one chick get bumped because she doesn't believe in the flu shots. And I'm like, well, when the paper said what you won't do,
Why didn't you put it on there?
What you won't do. They're not going to hold it against you if they want to really work with you. They wouldn't have asked the question in the first damn place.
Right.
Because you got a lot of people who don't want to play gay roles. You got people who don't want to play drug addicts. You got people who don't want to play winos. Because whatever happened in their real life, they don't want to translate. So for me, I never said anything other than I don't want to play roles where I don't get a chance to show off what I can do. So I'm not playing your typical big man. Even though I play security guards or whatever, I play the type of killers.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like to play. I like to play killers, not just regular security guards, because they don't pop for me, even a bouncer.
Right. You know? What's that one movie you was whooping ass in there? In the club, the dude came in and it was like y'all ain't leaving. Like y'all ain't leaving up out of here.
Oh yeah, the TV show with Victoria Justice.
Yeah.
I Candy. That was on MTV.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, that was 20 years or so waiting to get on MTV after all them years of doing music and dance.
Wow.
Here I am on MTV whooping ass.
Whooping ass. Like for real.
You know what I'm saying? And again, they combined two roles into one for me because it was supposed to be two big guys, but they like my energy and they like my presence so much. And again, the voice got them. And then they was gonna get a stunt double for me. But when I showed the guy, this is why I tell people about their cosplay. I don't really cosplay. I'm just Dave in a costume. So I got girls who make my outfits for me. But I had showed the guy, we was joking off to the side, my handler and I, yeah, man, you know, I dress up and show enough, man. I really love to do the stunt stuff, man. So one of the ADs heard me, ran back, came back during the break, man, you don't dress so enough. And I put, again, people, keep the stuff on your phone, not YouTube, not Instagram, on your phone. Because I was able to pull it up with no internet connection, showed him the pictures of me dressed, and sure enough, and me doing the split, he ran off. When they came back with the other tape, he told it the head assistant director. He came over. After another tape, the director came over. And the next thing you know, when the stunt coordinator come in here, we're going to introduce you to him.
Wow.
Man, you want to know what's crazy? When I used to, when I ain't even gonna say used to, I kind of still want to do some acting a little bit. I always did, right? Let me tell you what I did, because Power was my favorite TV show, right?
That's when I turned out.
I've tried to DM some of the writers and stuff. I was like, can I audition? Can I audition? Of course, they're not replying, but I mean, I used to try to get at them like that. So.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I'm sorry. I don't know if you heard me, but I just realized when you said that was the other shows: Empire, Power, and Scandal. I told my manager I didn't want to do.
What?
Because they don't do nothing for large black men. Everybody on the show was small as hell. So Gotham, they do that. Like the lady told me that was working on Gotham, they do that because they want the absurdity. Because again, comic books.
Yeah.
Things don't have to sync up. They can be askew and all like that. So I didn't want to do that show either. But to do what you did, here's the thing, and this is another tip. Did you ever just do a video of you doing a character from the show?
No.
That's mistake number one.
Yeah.
Had you did that, slapped it on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, got some numbers, and then sent it to them, you would have got on.
Yeah.
You would have gotten on.
You better take notes, Tim. You better take notes.
Watch this before you ask your next question. Why, Dave? Why would that have worked versus me just sending an email? That's the question you should be thinking. Or you can ask it. It's up to you.
I mean, that's easy because they can see firsthand before they even start to engage with you. They see how big of an audience you attracting and all that good stuff.
No, that's part. The main reason is they see that you're committed.
Oh yeah.
Shit. Because a lot of people come talking that. Even to me, I had somebody do that the other day and I had to prove to him in less than 10 seconds in front of his friends what he said was the wrong answer to my question. I simply said, and y'all can hold on to this and come back to it later. What do you want? That's all they're going to say. But no, he spoke.
Okay.
But all I said was, what do you want? His answer was not to the question I asked. He says, I want to promote my business. I said, okay, wait a minute. Hey, you know he does body contouring? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I promoted his business in 30 seconds, in less than 10 seconds in front of his friends.
Right.
But here's what's the problem. What he really wants to do is get a job. Because I said, what are you, a fitness personal trainer? meal consultant, laser lipo, because that's what I just did. I just lost a ton of weight doing laser liposuction. And he's looking like, I said, so basically what you need me to do is help you get a job with the company called Venus Concepts that makes these machines, right, for body sculpturing, which is what you want to do, and get you in the program. The lady's in Old Town Alexandria, and the other guy lives in Maryland that works for the company. He was like, I said, exactly. So the next time somebody asks you, what do you want? Don't be
specific. Be specific.
No, he's specific, but he was in the wrong frame. He's at the end as if he's already got a degree or certification in this.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And then he didn't know he was somebody who's knowledgeable of what body sculpturing and contouring is.
That go back to what you said about the podcast and like where your destination at, where you trying to end up at.
And the reality of where you are.
Yeah.
Be realistic. Because you ain't gotta, like I tell people, you ain't gotta impress me. I'm not the one.
Right.
I don't care. Like I told the girls that's on my show now. They all talking about, well, we just won 3 awards. I said, I don't care. My question was, can you put on a show?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I care what an award can do. Hell, I got awards, but it didn't do shit for me.
Right.
Okay? Just like people with degrees. I meet a lot of entertainers and people got degrees and it ain't do shit for them.
That's what I always say. They be like, go to college. I be like, when you go to college all them years and you get that degree, when you graduate, that don't mean you're gonna get a job as soon as you get off that stage or the next day after you graduate.
All right. I know people with degrees
before you get a job in that field.
If at all, because I know people who got college degrees and they doing something totally different.
Yeah. That's how about it.
I don't knock it.
I mean, we don't condone not going to school and continue your education. That is not what we're saying. We just saying that sometimes let's make it clear. Don't come for us in the comments.
I'm gonna tell them.
Tell them.
You have to be specific because when it comes to entertainment, people always say it's not what you know, it's who you know. I said no. You have to know thyself first. Because there's going to be a ton of days where they're going to tell you no, and that shit's going to hurt your soul.
Yeah.
Especially if it comes to somebody or someplace you want it so bad. Okay, that's number one. Number two, yes, it does matter who you know, but if you ain't working with somebody who is genuinely in position to advance themselves, then there's nothing they can even do for you.
Wow.
Like I had the guy tell me, oh, this girl works at Nickelodeon. I said, really, dog? He said, yeah, she's a writer. Really, dog? I said, then how come I ain't seen none of her shit? He said, what do you mean? Dude, I go to the auditions on a regular for Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, all that. I ain't seen their sign of her in there. When I got to get in front of the staff, I do not see her. It is not that big a department when it comes to Black entertainment. So in corporate America, you're going to know all the Black and people of color. You're going to know.
Yeah. Right. So what do you do to stay inspired in the midst of adversity when it comes to the entertainment industry?
Actually meeting people like yourselves who are willing to let me speak my piece, get it out to the folks and entertain the folks as well as educate them. And then like the young folks I'm getting ready to talk to you later on, just seeing people receive what I'm giving. Right. And do something with it and make it happen.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, that's all. Because it's never going to be, now I ain't going to front. What was the project I got on and I was like still tripping off of? Oh, the one with Michelle Pfeiffer and Robert De Niro. To be right here with Michelle Pfeiffer.
What was that like?
Dude!
That's your Robert De Niro, man. Come on now.
But
did you have to look down at him?
Sir. No, he doesn't know, does he? I forgot. This picture any linebacker. I'm 6'6", 300 some odd pounds, and I do kung fu. So to them, a big guy moving that fast, that agile, they don't know what to do. So I keep forgetting how big I am sometimes when I go to meet people. And so just like I did on Gotham with Tank Girl. Y'all ever see the movie Tank Girl?
No.
Oh my God, what are y'all? Pop culture. It has Ice-T in it. He's playing a kangaroo, a mutated kangaroo humanoid.
No, I haven't. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Look it up.
How old is this movie?
It had to be like 96, 98.
Oh, okay.
Right when he was getting good with his career, popping off with acting before he got on Law and Order.
It's Tank Girl. Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah. Lori Petty is her name. She's actually the one that plays the Joker-like character in the scene in Gotham. That's my boss that owns the nightclub.
Okay.
So it was a crush to meet her because I had just watched her movie like 2 months prior, and I had a crush on her for the longest time. And she grabbed my hand as we walked back to the trailer, talking about, playing with me. And I said, I forgot all professionalism. I went play on her ass. Like,
how you doing?
No. I really went down. I said, hey, I got a crush on you, right? She didn't grab my hand. I'm about good. I'm like, don't play with me now.
Don't play with me like that. Don't play with me like that.
Oh, right. Yeah, wow.
I mean, Michelle Pfeiffer, it was odd because I didn't know that Robert De Niro and her were in the movie that I was doing. I didn't know. So once again, these confidentiality agreements, it's fun for me because I never know who I'm going to be across. So I didn't know it was Michelle Pfeiffer that I was actually doing the scene with. You know what I mean? All I heard was they kept saying Bobby's on the other side. The lady I rode the bus in the van with kept saying Dave's gonna be Bobby's stunt double. Now her and the driver kept laughing. I'm like, who else is big like me? Bobby who? Bobby Brown? No. Ooh, Michael Clark Duncan is dead. That's my idol. So who else they talking, right? And so we get there. We in a prison in upstate New York. Everybody looked at me like I'm crazy. All these guys, I didn't know what they were. They all in the costumes. So then they stripped a couple of people of their gear and put it on me. They put me in a director's seat. Man, all the eyeballs were like, and I was like, whatever. So then they put us in the hallway, and the real police officer is talking to me and the ladies who are my handlers, and we're just yakking, and all of a sudden they say, clear the hallway for the actress. I said, how fat is she? God damn, you gotta clear the whole hallway? That's a big bitch.
Oh my God.
Dude, I'm stupid as fuck, right? So he's just talking. He having a good old time. He's on a tour, like a tour guide in the prison. And I'm sitting next to him. And all of a sudden, this thick white lady comes through. I'm like, okay, she's cool. She's cute. Why we got to clear the hallway for her? She comes through. And then this slim white woman with glasses and a golden Chinese bob comes through the thing and looks at me. Hey, officer. How you doing? And I look and I say, hey, man. Did Catwoman just walk past me? He was like, yeah. And they like yelled out, you didn't know? I said, hell no. It just said, my dude from that do the voices, you know what I'm talking about. He does the voices on The Simpsons, Hank Azura. That was the only recognizable name on my list was Hank Azura. So I'm waiting to meet him, not realizing the guy in the orange jumpsuit that kept walking by, that was Robert De Niro.
Wow.
And then Michelle Pfeiffer shook us by and they go, you didn't know? I said, no, the lady kept saying I was gonna be Bobby's stunt double. Now I know why everybody kept laughing. Because it's like Tim said, he's small, right? But he got such a strong command. You just saw him gliding through the hallway back and forth. And I was like, damn.
Yeah.
And I'm learning from him and Michelle, just sitting there watching, dude. I'm just
taking it all in.
Yeah, and then Tim was like this, the director Barry Levinson is from Baltimore. And he's been working with Robert Redford and all these other legends for years. So that was the extra kicker for me, to be inspired by seeing what he was doing with two legends. And I'm just sitting there having a masterclass less than 8 feet away, like,
okay.
And then to see that Michelle was excited to meet me, to see that she was excited to meet me, that was crazy. That blew me. I said, hello, Queen.
It's safe to say, man, you well connected up in the game.
Yes.
Well, I'm trying to, brother. I'm trying to, because some of the people I call my advisors are people y'all know and recognize, especially in the comic book world, because a lot of people are like, yo, you know him, you know her? Yeah, and one of my students, she works closely with Godfrey on his podcast. She has her own podcast and cooking show. So, yeah, it's a lot of folks, man. A lot of folks. That's why I say the people of color that operate at a certain level, there's no way you're not going to know each other. It's
right. So speaking of people of color operating on this level, I want to ask you this question, and I wasn't gonna bring it up on my platform at all, but because you're in the entertainment industry, and these are you already know the question.
Well, they asked me last week, and the one guy was trying to defend this one point, and I said you're correct, but I'll go ahead.
What do you think about it? What do you think about the incident between Will Smith and Chris Rock?
It's some punk shit.
On whose behalf?
Of course, on Will's. Of course on Will. Because here's the thing. Like I told the guy, I started off, I was like, this cockhold, right? And so when I came off the tip, because I'd finally seen the whole clip from start to finish, he showed us the whole thing. And I was like, yo, what the? Because I already was feeling some kind of way when I heard about it, because I was in the middle of doing my live.
I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a joke.
Nah, even if it was a joke, let me be clear. Like I told the guy, yes, you can defend your wife, but we all from the old school. We all from the streets, number one and number two. You can't go up against a dude tracking on you, talking shit about you, right, with your fist, because then you lose the argument. You lose the battle. In DC, we call it joning. Everywhere else is called cracking or something else to that matter. So if somebody's cracking on you, man, you got to come back with it. That shows you winning. But if you start throwing your hands, you lost, because he can still talk shit. So it was, to me, it really wasn't a heart of a joke. And if Chris didn't know the woman had alopecia, like everybody been saying, Denzel, all in my watch today said the same thing that I said, that he could have just waited and got backstage and said something, or said something funky back to Chris right then and there, if it was necessary. It really wasn't, because Chris was continuing on. And then two, he know, and I love watching Corey Holcomb, because Corey Holcomb said exactly what I said. I said he wouldn't have did that to Corey Holcomb, Godfrey, D. Ray Davis, right? Because I'm naming big comedians, right?
Steve
These
Harvey?
dudes. No, well, Steve is sizable too. But here's the thing. Steve ain't in them streets or in these crappy clubs like those three guys I just mentioned are. Right. They still performing those things. So their instincts would have kicked in the second he got up, started strutting.
Right.
Because he strutted like regular, like he would come to this, like it might have been a joke.
Like, yeah.
But here's where I say it's bullies, because two, he knows Chris is removed from that shit just like he's been removed from it. He knows that, right? Tony Rock, however, no, Tony's still in them streets. So he wouldn't have came to Tony like that. That's number two. Number three. Then when you do it, you walk off. And Tim would know, as a black man, you don't do that to another man and think you can walk back to your seat unless you already know you're gonna punk him, or he ain't gonna do nothing because of where he at. So I ain't gonna say he punked Chris, but Chris did what he's supposed to do, keep his composure as a host or as a presenter, and did what he supposed to do. That was taking advantage of him. And then again, he's smaller. And then if you go back to the history, Tommy Davidson put it in his book, how Will came in about Jada when he was on the set of Woo. And then what's his name? Anthony Mackie, that played Falcon. He said the same thing. So Will has the history going on small niggas.
See, I didn't know about that. I didn't know about the two incidents with Anthony Mackie and him. I didn't know about that.
And Tommy
Davis.
Yeah, because Tommy Davis put it in his book. But hold on, let me say this to you. The reason why the guy on the other show was like, well, Dave, you defended white, and we don't care, y'all saying white people. Me and the other two people on the panel, ex-police officer and the young lady who's about decorum, we said to him, we didn't say nothing about white people. He said, no, not y'all, but people. I said, but here's what we trying to say to you. Regardless of circumstance, as an entertainer, he wanted that damn stage. I don't care about the Oscars. Like you heard me say earlier in the show, I don't care about awards. He fought for that. He let his woman go on a whole campaign and damn near mess up her career promoting it. And then you get there, and a simple joke that you already laughed at. Yeah, that's the problem with a lot of men.
That was the problem right there for me.
You laughed at.
Yeah,
it was a funny fucking joke.
I mean, do you think that Chris was wrong for reading the joke? Do you think he should have just not read it?
Baby, it was a joke that
I know. I get it. I mean,
if I saw you as a tough, strong woman, and you come in the room with a bald head, and I'm like, ooh, what's a quick snap? G.I. Jane. He was coming from that angle with the joke that G.I. Jane 2's gonna come out. Where did he say anything about alopecia or your bald-headed bitch? Where was the derogatory statement at?
But he didn't write the joke though. Chris didn't write it.
I want to say something real quick, y'all.
What's up?
Go ahead.
So I agree with the part where you said he could have waited till he got backstage and handled all that. I agree with the part where you said, you know, we all ain't know what type of condition she had until afterwards, right?
Well, I knew because I watch her show.
So, but this is my thing though, and I don't never hear people talk about this when it comes to Will. And then people kept talking about why you ain't smack August Alsina like that or whatever, right? But the most people not bringing up the fact that this man and his family have been dragged through the media for a long time.
Mhm.
Now, as a man or as a person, period, you keeping your composure, but you can only do it for so long. You know how long this man had to deal with jokes about his wife, and at that given time, because I saw he was laughing at something, and then the whole situation took a turn for the worse or whatever. But you gotta remember this: at the last Oscars, when Jada Pinkett was trying to boycott that joint, Chris Rock made a comment about her on stage then, and then he got to deal with other people making comments about his wife,
and not just his wife, his kids too.
Then his kids. Then to get on, be sitting in front of somebody physically, and they saying something about G.I. Jane. I looked further into the joke. Somebody said that joke, like I guess the person who played G.I. Jane cheated on her husband with somebody. So
with a younger guy.
Yeah. So when he said that joke to Will took it a certain way. Now he did do too much walking on stage on camera doing it. He definitely did. But you still got to understand this man is. I'm not trying to say we all got to feel sorry for him or nothing like that. But he made that joke run deeper than what everybody know.
And that's what I was saying. I was saying like,
keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Right.
I'm telling you, like, and he gotta, and for us, like for any of us, like we all adults, but for the most part, adults know how to keep their composure until somebody just keep picking with you, fucking with you.
Now let me say something to you.
What you gonna do?
Let me say something to you. Just like I told the other guy, and the ex-police officer agreed. When you are a large man, no matter what age or race, a large man. That's why the heavyweight fights and the UFC and regular boxing don't last long, because all it takes is one punch or kick and we can stop you from breathing or living. So you have to employ constraint. You have to. That's number one. Number two, to your point, if that man said something about my woman 2 years ago, Negro, did I not just say, if there's a person of a certain level and they're a person of color, you cannot avoid them in the entertainment industry because it's a small group. He would have seen Chris and had that same energy 2 years ago and knocked him out. I would have championed it. Then Chris wouldn't have said the joke this past 2 weeks. So I agree with you about being human, because the other guy said the same thing and da-da-da-da. But my thing is to you, brother, business first. Why disrupt your dollar?
Yeah, because
something you can take care of right there with a joke. He could have came. Will does jokes too. He not slow with it. He could have came right back at brother man. In other words, bro, and you probably heard this in school: fight fire with fire. And the reason why everybody, even Steve Harvey, said it was bullying, because you already know Chris Rock is smaller than you. He's twice removed, just like you are, from the streets, right? So he's not going to have those same instincts as a comic who's in these raggedy clubs, like Ari Spears said on his thing. He's used to it. He got people throwing ketchup bottles at him. People want to fight him outside. The white lady want to stab him when he was at the other spot. Okay? Somebody even tried to get at him in Canada after the show. But somebody like Chris Rock, who's been out of the comedy game like that, on that level for several years, know what time. Even Jim Curry said it. The way Chris handled it was very admirable. What Will Smith did, he said he ain't got nothing against him. He understands trauma. He understands he got a lot going on. But at the same token, man, you don't have no right to come up on somebody else's show and disrupt their show. That's that man's show. That's his stage for that moment. That's like me coming in your podcast right now and disrupting your whole podcast for what? You know what I'm saying? Me and you can get into it verbally. I don't need to put my hands on you in that moment. As a professional, you can lose your cool by saying some shit. Yeah. But you don't have to put your hands on nobody, bro.
I feel like it's easy for people to say stuff like that about somebody else's trauma
Here's-
or what they got going on, because I
I
mean,
agree.
not to say that none of us have never felt trauma or felt what Will is feeling, but
Right.
it's always easier because we don't know these celebrities. We don't know what they do backstage.
I think it was something deeper. I think it's something
It
deeper
is. It
that
really
we'll
is.
probably
It gotta be.
we'll never
because
know. Like,
no,
cause think about it. When have we ever known up until recently anything that Will Smith has done to personally offend
Nothing.
somebody or got out of the way with somebody
So,
or was in the
like, for me to
tabloids
get
for
this
anything?
point,
Nothing.
or would y'all like for me to stay on the outside with you?
Huh?
Let me say this again. Would you like for me to give you an outsider point of view or an insider point of view? I just want to know. You tell me which one y'all want.
I asked from you being in the business.
No, I'm gonna say it again. It's only two ways it's going. See, y'all just brought up a point about outside.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, mhm.
I'm trying to bring up a point on the inside.
Inside, yeah. So what?
I'm-
Okay, so we talked about the inside. What about the outside? What is
Got
your?
people around us from the inside that train you for this, and at his level, you can't get to his level without that training.
Right.
Will has a history of doing that to other entertainers, and they have kept it behind the books. It was never publicly displayed.
Mm.
So he does not have it as simple as everybody's trying to make it. And again, I'm not saying that he cannot be human.
Mhm.
That's not my point I'm making. It's no different than when your grandmother will tell you, watch what you do, because it can have an effect. It's like right now, black man, you know what I know. We can't go down the street and just slap some white dude because he called us Negro, a nigga. Because then where we going to end up at? We physically assaulted him. He just said a statement. But I could have just ignored it or said, screw you, and kept it going. Now, I've been in those situations. So I'm talking to you as a man who's been confronted with this stuff. So I'm telling you what I was taught to do for myself, as well as by other big men who advise me in the industry, guys who do security for these celebrities, because that's what they defended them from. Not from people like fans, they defended them from themselves. So let me make that clear. Hold on, let me make that clear. They are hired to keep the celebrity under control, not the fans, because the celebrities lose it. So the managers and agents and publicists hire security to keep them under control. And that's what people don't see. So I'm telling you, as a person who's done security, that worked with these folks, I agree with the thing about being human, having trauma, having people talk so much shit, you just reach a boiling point. But you have people around you to keep your shit under control. So if you lose it, they got you. That's the thing.
Yeah, nah, I agree with you. Everything you're saying. But two things. First, I don't want to make no big thing about it, but first I want to address the whole go down the street, slap a white person, whole thing. Now I can hold on real quick. I can ignore a whole lot of things. Verbally, I can ignore a whole lot of things, but nigga ain't one of them. I'm not ignoring that. Okay, that's one thing. Now the second thing is when it comes to business and all that, I get it. Business got to come first. You can't mess up your name. You got, you know what I'm saying? You can't do everything you said, right? But at the end of the day, man, at the end of the day, you still a person. At the end of the day, you still a man. You, no matter how many business ventures you got, you still a man at the end of the day. You need to be respected as a man. No matter what the business is. I don't give a damn how much money you getting offered.
Right.
Because me and my friends was talking about this. We was like, what if the people at the Oscars, whoever put whatever on the little teleprompter or whatever. Now, what if Chris Rock had to read that? Now, we was like, but okay, for example, me and you, let's say me and you best friends, you hosting the Oscars. You get up on there, they want you to say that about me. But are you gonna still get up there and say that, or are you gonna tell them like, nah, I don't want to say that? But you getting paid a lot of money to do this show, but you disagreeing to get up on there and disrespect my marriage. So are you gonna still get up there and do that for the sake of the money, the business, or are you gonna put your pride aside and be like, nah, that's like family to me. I'm not gonna do that.
Now let me slow you down, just so you understand. That's a different type of scenario. First of all, to your point about Chris having that option, right? We are all, like I told you earlier in this conversation, we're all confronted with those choices. Up front, you have to just be bold and take the risk and say, I'm not going to do that, right? So even if that was done by those people, Chris is of a higher caliber. Chris can turn down whatever the hell he wants.
And that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. He didn't.
So we can take that off the table. Chris has a choice. You or I, who just starting out, we wouldn't. We'd be like, well, and then we just have to run to any podcast, anybody that will listen to us and say, well, they try to make me say this. Because great example, remember Omarosa?
Yes. And Trump?
No. Before she got with Trump, do y'all remember the reality show stuff she was doing?
Oh, yes.
She went on an apology tour and she stopped on Oprah and said, they gave me a notebook like this that's already have everything pre-constructed and I had to da-da-da-da. And I looked at her when she said, I said, now you a lawyer type. You from DC. You know business and you know hustle. Bitch, you didn't have to do shit that was in that book.
Right.
You could tell it no and still make a living
doing what you're doing. Because she was very successful.
Exactly. So to your point about what Chris could have made the choice, he had the choice. He could tell them no. He could write his own jokes. Chris is of that caliber. So that's that. Now, back to your point about being respected, bruh, like I told the last gentleman, I agree. Respect as a man, protect your black queen. I'm with it. But again, the old adage never changes. Fight fire with fire. You look more, like in other words, if you're just talking shit to me, bro, what right do I got to put my hands on you? You still gonna talk shit? You won.
That's what I'm saying. There's certain things, just saying some regular old shit to somebody, just cussing them out, that's something different. It's certain lines that you can't cross with people, period. You got to stay away from people's family and stay away from people's sexuality. You got to stay away from certain things. You can say anything, like right now, if me and you get back, if me and you going back and forth and you call me a bitch ass nigga or something like that, man, I can ignore that. I'm gonna say some stuff back, but I can kind of brush that off. But once you start crossing the line, talking about families and all this, or making threats, that's something different. I'm just talking about lines being crossed. Certain lines.
No, let me ask you a question. Like I'm saying to you, I've had it done to me.
Yeah.
You asked me the question. I'm trying to tell y'all, I've had those things done to me.
Yeah.
I had to explain to his boy he was going to pull a gun on my ass when he saw me walking through Georgetown. And I told him, see me, nigga, I'm not hiding.
Yeah.
Let me say it again. Tell him to see me, nigga, I'm not hiding.
Right.
But like a troll ass bitch, he stayed on the DMs. And still to this day, 4 years later, he trolling me by sending me his little videos and all this other shit, but he ain't man enough to talk to me. Another prominent DC artist in the area talked all this shit when he saw me link up with the white guys who created the Funk Parade. And I said, we're gonna do a celebration for Michael Jackson and Prince, right? This is 2016. This is me trying to get into doing festivals. This Negro is the first one talking about why they trying to take our stuff. Dog, he known me for 15 years. He didn't take 5 seconds to read the goddamn page saw created by David Oliver. When I confronted him, I said, dude, I ain't with this young boy shit. I'm old school, nigga. You got something to say, call me. And gave him my motherfucking number. When he calls me, he with his woman. It took his woman to make him realize, you don't know who you're talking to, do you? Because he didn't. He thought I was gonna go with that cyber shit, but back and forth. Nigga, I'm not Chris. I'm not white. I'm Dave. I'm from Northeast DC, nigga. Come see me. We old school. Talk. But again, I talked to him. Same as the nigga with the gun shit. Come see me.
Right.
I carry a machete. What's up, son?
Me too. I have one.
Okay, so you get the point.
Yeah.
It's again, fight fire with fire. Why I'm gonna go to jail for some punk nigga talk about my mother? Remy Ma had the same. Look at Matt Hoffa's show. My expert opinion with Remy Ma. Remy Ma, he asked Remy Ma the same question about, is it off limit? Because these trill rappers talk about people who died and people's mothers. And she said, hey, what are you gonna tell a 17-year-old what to do? You can tell them it's not right, but if they coming for you, they don't like you, they're gonna use anything they can as ammo. Right. It's all in how you come back. So if you slap them, okay, they warrant you. They like this. Let me say this to you. This is I said to somebody else. If Will had said, yo, Chris, keep my wife out your mouth, right? And then Chris doubled down on his joke. Like, nah, Will, fuck you. I'm gonna keep it going. Then
it would have
go at him. But one time, call a nigga out and let him at least apologize or give him a chance to do something. That's like joning going back and forth. That's the whole point of battle rap and joning. You give the opponent something to do. But in that moment, he didn't give Chris time to do anything. He just straight up came up. And then he didn't, if you watch the body language, bro, and as a person who does martial arts and security, we're trained to watch body language. Will walked up on him like he was going to say something.
Yeah.
With the little saying and fixing of his vest. He didn't come angrily like, okay, I'm about to sock this motherfucker. I'm like, what kind of slap was that? You're going to slap a nigga? Slap him. He should have been on the ground. Like, oh, wow, Will Smith slapped the shit out of me. I was like, what kind of slap was it, dude? You didn't. What was your intent? And then you sashay back to your seat like you ain't did shit. I'm like,
listen,
nigga, are you going to confront him or not? That's why I say I agree with you. If you get up in a street fight, son, trained military, martial arts street fighters, they'll tell you. If you get up in a street fight and you go at a man, you don't know what that man's going to do. The reason why I said bully is because he knew that brother's 2 times smaller than him, not as trained as him, and Chris Rock has brothers who go to jail for this shit for real, for real.
Yeah, I didn't know it was 10 of them. I didn't know it was a lot of them like that.
Tony Rock has said it on the interview on Gary Owen show. See, I'm very hip on to go back to your point earlier about podcasting. I'm very hip. I watch all the top people for a reason, so that folks like ourselves can get up to the next level or prepare on how to do an interview or how to be interviewed. That's where I get my training from. Like I said, because that's what I do. I watch every day, all day. So I say this. He says, Tony Rock on Gary Owen thing, my brother was going to kill somebody when I was in high school for me. That dude drew a gun on me because I was messing with his girl who didn't tell me she had a boyfriend. So his brother at 15, who had already been to jail, was going to pull a gun out on his behalf to kill this nigga. So imagine what's going to happen to Will. That's why I was so concerned for Will. That's what my concern went for Will. I was like, dude, you don't know who you just messed with.
Well, I pray. Listen, we've been talking about this for a minute, and we're gonna go ahead and switch courses. But I pray that it all gets resolved and no one gets hurt. I hate that it happened the way that it did. It's unfortunate because it's 2 Black men at the end of the day pitted against each other, and the Black woman is in the middle. And I
don't even see it as that though. That's the only thing. That's the reason why, like I said, what Tim is saying. The other guy on another podcast, he said similar to what Tim is saying. And I said, bro, I get you. If it was a situation where we chilling and a dude coming for my woman and we had a comedy show, we done paid all this good money, sure. But it's a dude that's lesser than, I can kill him. I'm well-trained and Will Smith is well-trained. He could kill him.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I worry about. You could have killed him for a joke.
Yeah.
A joke.
I don't think all of that anger was because of Chris though. I think
it was.
I think at the end of the day, dude just got tired of being dragged through the internet. And for all we know, I don't know if he do or if he don't. Will might have some mental issues a little bit with that. So we have to, like I said.
Oh, he got trauma for real because he grew up watching his dad beat the hell out of his mama. Like it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff,
man. Like I really like Will, and I'm not trying to be biased or not. I really like Will, and I be trying to put myself in his shoes. Like, damn, now what if I was getting dragged and my wife and all the whole thing that we got going on? If I had to deal, he the front line. Jada ain't had to deal with none of that. He the front line, man. He had to take all that hit, and look, and he still is getting on the internet. Making funny videos and doing all that stuff. This dude, once them cameras and lights is off, this dude probably going through it. And to hear it, all it takes is one, what that saying go, one straw to break the camel back, whatever it is, I don't know. But that's all it takes.
But was it Chris or was it his woman? Because like everybody is saying, when you watch the tape, Will's laughing at the joke.
Yeah.
Jada turns and
It probably was Jada. It probably was
Jada. Like he gave it. He said he was fine. He said he was fine until he looked over at her.
Okay, KeKe, as a female, let me ask you this. This is where I go, and this is why I watch this is why I tell people I'm going to do a dose this weekend. Careful who you let speak for you. And the next one's gonna be careful who you keep the fuck around you. This is why I don't have a lot of people around me.
Oh,
okay. Because at this age and at this stage in the game, I can't afford to have some little dumb hot ass broad on my arm talking some shit about some nigga that neither one of us got nothing to do with.
And thinking you're gonna defend her.
For what? What the fuck is this nigga worth? If you offended, let me and you talk about that at home. Let me and you talk about that backstage. But would you rather your man say some smart ass shit back to the nigga? Now, if all the nigga's talking to you, he's talking. Now, if he puts his hands on you.
First of all, I ain't no quiet chick that's gonna sit there and let another person talk crazy to me, because I probably would have said something myself. That's just me.
It probably would have been better if one of them would have got on stage and just said
some joke. Yeah, like said something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I've been saying.
Yeah.
And people don't get that because they think I'm talking against the nigga
No.
and his trauma. No, I'm saying fight fire with fire.
I got it. It's like taking a knife to a gunfight. Yeah.
And Jada, like she said, Jada ain't no silent ass broad. You know that.
Oh no.
You know that. Everybody on this planet know that about her. They know her of her existence. She ain't never been like that. And like the guy I watched today, he put together a perfectly good clip. And he said in his clip, look at how she talked about Tupac versus her husband. 13 years after being married to Will, look at how she's talking about Tupac. In the interview, and the subtitle says, this is 13 years after being married to Will. And she's talking about this once in a lifetime relationship, and we more than loved each other. And then she talked about Will. It was so different. I was like, oh God. Jesus,
yeah, Will said he was jealous. He was jealous of her love.
But that's the thing. Let me say this to you, bro. And this is why I got to look at you as a man. You're not going to want some woman on you 24 hours a day that cannot see you as the man.
Of course.
The man.
Right.
And then go around trying to defend her or yourself for doing that. Because then in the other video that I watched before I got on, the guy was talking about simp, being a simp man. Mm. And they used Will Smith's situation. And it was Kevin Samuels of all people.
Oh, wow. Really?
Will Smith as a simp man. Mm-hmm. And when he broke it down, I was like, damn, Jada's been on one for a minute. See, because I don't pay her no attention. To me, after the Oscar campaign, I kind of just lost the flavor for her. Mm-hmm. So I never really got in the red table talk and all of the latest stuff she's been doing. Even with the August situation, I'm like, okay, you just got some young dick. Okay, you and Will was on the outs. That happens. I've dealt with married women before, so I know how it plays. You just need a moment to do something different. You might go back home. You might not. Y'all just might need a moment, whatever that is. But it's in-house. I never put the women's business out there. First of all, she fucked with a young sick nigga in the mind. That was the mistake. She shouldn't have did that. Fuck with some young dick. Do what you're gonna do, but make sure the nigga right in the head. Because that nigga fell in love. He forgot the assignment. He forgot he's supposed to sling it, bang it, nut it, and get out.
Oh my God.
He forgot the assignment.
Yeah, but yeah, he did. He broke all the rules.
And that's why I said you gotta learn. Like I tell people again, careful who you have around you, careful who you have talk for you. If I got a woman like you, the reason why I just got excited when you said that's I'm gonna have Kiki's baby. Because she said I ain't no silent chick, and I would have said something to him because I would have been the one that was bothered. I said, yeah, and I sat there, tell him, baby, tell him that shit. That's how you co-sign and protect your woman. Mm-hmm. You don't keep laughing at the niggas joke. He said, baby, you a bald-headed bitch. No. She say something, you back it up. Until he doubles down on the joke and wants to fight your woman, then you step in. That's defending her. This is just bullying your way through something that you got to deal with therapists, doctors, and preachers. That's why when Denzel said what him and Tyler Perry did, they made prayer. They didn't pass judgment. They made prayer for him.
Yeah. They tried to create a safe space because they knew in the moment that it was something deeper. And I really do believe that it's something deeper. My heart goes out to the Smiths and the Rocks. So hopefully they can come together and change the situation, because at the end of the day, nothing is worth your mental state.
No, I go through it every day.
Yeah, nothing is.
That's why when he asked the question earlier about this, that, I said, no, it's every day. It's never on and off thing.
Right.
And every day I have to practice my mental things for my anxiety, my impatience, again, you know, like you said, how my voice is on TV shows. Like I tell my students, you have to put some of your life into your roles, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when I used to be out in the street doing security, that's how I talked.
Right.
So now that I talk this way, I can do the radios and all that other stuff and have diversity in the characters that I can do. But that took time to develop. And he knows my Northeast accent comes out. He probably recognized it about 20 times already. You know what I'm saying? It done came out. So you know what I'm saying? So it's just, again, learning how to control yourself and having good people around you to keep you focused.
Right.
That's the reason why you got to have external things. You got to have people. I got Paco. So this is Paco. He's my screen mate.
Okay.
So you know what I'm saying? And people are like, are you committed? I said, yeah, because that's how you got to play a role. I got to turn a tennis ball into a dragon. Hello.
Okay, Wilson.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
These green screen things is nothing there.
Yeah.
And going back to the video game, there was nothing there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Just doing it. Directing you what to do. Yeah.
No, and I didn't understand why he told me open the door this way. Sorry, nice segue. Back to what we were originally talking about. He said open the door this way. It wasn't until I saw somebody playing the video game that I'm in the back of the van shooting. I didn't know that's what I was doing. So it's stuff like that you just never know.
Right, right. So with that being said, Dave, tell everybody how they can connect with you. You talked a lot about hats that you wear and everything that you have going on. How is someone that's listening, that's wanting to tap into the entertainment industry, how can they get in touch with you?
They got to have one thing first. Be ready to do what you say you want to do when you say it. As a young lady came up with the slogan for me, don't talk to Dave unless you're ready because he's real quick with one. Meaning 30 seconds. I always tell people, if you haven't noticed in less than 30 seconds, I got an answer for you. And people like, I say, that's because you're not the only person who's asking me. You're not new. Yeah. So don't think you're that special. I want you to understand you got to fight against 100 other people that we know and 1,000 more we don't know. So when you come to David, Theoh, it's all one word, David Theo, on Instagram or Facebook, that's where you find me, and we'll knock it out. Or you can go to Fandom to Stardom, the word Fandom, the number 2, Stardom, and find me there. Okay.
Y'all heard it here. Y'all heard it here. And so what's next for you? What's next for Dave? What you got going on? I know you have a lot. I know you talked about the festival that you have going on. What else?
This weekend, I'm doing Pop of Spring block party in conjunction with the Sake Masuri for the Cherry Blossom Festival. I'm hosting the karaoke segment. I'm also walking in the runway segment for them on Saturday and Sunday. And then again, the following weekend, the same thing. And then in May 7th, I'm hosting in the Grand March of DC Fun Parade Festival. And then in June, we got HNIC Con in Philly. And then July, we have BlurredCon. So some other stuff is coming up. But for me right now, that's the immediate stuff I'm doing. And then like right now, I'm just waiting for them to tell me about this commercial.
Okay.
I just can't talk about it because at this level, there's all gag orders.
Right. Well,
ain't nobody watching, Dave.
I wish, bro. Like I said,
ain't nobody watching this right now, man. You tell us when we stop recording, man. You tell us a little bit more.
Okay, that's what I normally do because I had to. Like I told this one guy, he was like, I said, bro, I had to wait till the entire holiday season to tell people I was in the goddamn game. Can you imagine for the entire holiday season, your family like, Dave, what's going on? What's the latest thing? And I'm like,
nothing. And
I do this, and they say, what are you doing? Thumb war?
Yeah. Well, that looked like texting though. You know how folks get the texting. Yeah. But listen, we proud of you, Dave. We proud of you for, walking in your light, helping other people find theirs. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you for being a guest. Tim, thank you for co-hosting with us, with me today. I
followed you too, Dave. Go ahead and follow me back.
I like to do this thing where I ask all of my guests this personal question. It's called On a Personal Note. With everything that we talked.
It's like, nah, I'm playing.
See, you got jokes. So on a personal note, like being the person that you are right now, what would you tell your younger self about where you are right now, or the entertainment industry, or some of the stuff that we talked about today? What would you tell?
I would never have this conversation with my younger self.
Why not? That's the first. That's a first.
Because I didn't exist until 2006.
Oh.
David Oliver is only 15, 17 years old.
Okay.
Because in 2006, I had a situation that caused me to change who I was as a person. Okay. So the younger self, I constantly have to try to remember what I was, because all those elements of me have been pushed to the side, and only a handful of people are left that know that side of me. Like a lot of people didn't know I was a singer. A lot of people didn't know I danced on BET. A lot of people don't know because it's another life. A lot of people don't even know I was in the Marines.
Wow.
So it's a whole nother life. That's why I said I try to reach back to my younger self, but again, because they two are so different, it's
Mhm.
always fragmented in the vision.
Wow,
So
that's a first. I love that. I love that. That's the first time I've gotten an answer like that. I would have this conversation because it didn't exist. Wow. Tim, is there anything you want to ask Dave before we get on off? Anything you want to say closing out?
Dave, next time you get a power offer, man, just send it to me, man.
oh, I've already read for it twice.
Next time you get a power offer, tell them people you know somebody that want to get up on there. I send them a 30-minute tape. I don't care.
Okay. So are you still recording?
Yes. Hold on. Watch.
I want you to play this back for Tim, right? When
Uh-huh.
he starts talking to you like he don't know what he's talking about, just go, Tim, Dave already told you what to do.
You better start
Now
making
watch
them
this.
videos.
But Dave said he's a what earlier though? What was the thing that Dave said that he can connect to? I turned down the show, the initial power, but the one with Mary J. Blige and the one with Tommy and all them, they called me in. So what does that tell you? Connect with the job he does with the connection he got. Let's hit the clock, Alex. Boom, bing, boom, 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 bing, boom.
Okay. Dave trying to be deep.
Come on, Tim.
Hey, man, I don't remember.
Talent Scout.
Oh,
For
talent
legit
scout.
management company in New York. Acting coach. So with 1-2 step, 1-2 step, let me see you 1-2 step.
Hey, come on, Sierra.
Okay, don't play with me, girl. You know I do what I do. I told you I studied.
You know what? That's who you looking like right now. Don't she, Dave?
Don't do that.
Don't she, Dave? That's who she look like,
her
Dave.
baby. Don't do that to me. I told them I have her baby. I'm trying to be professional. I'm trying to be professional. Not trying to come through this phone. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not trying to do that, son. Don't do that. Gonna have me move to wherever she live at. Washing dishes. I ain't gonna be a simp man. I'm just gonna be the man in her house.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna be her Alfred to her Batwoman. Hello.
Listen, I don't think my husband will like that very much.
Well, I don't need him.
My God.
You're not enough.
On that, we gonna end on that though, Dave. We gonna end on that.
I use that as a soundbite. You are not enough.
You are not enough. Wow. Yes, indeed. But again, it has been a pleasure having you on the platform. I cannot wait for listeners to listen in and check out this episode. Of course, this will be edited out, but the people on YouTube will get it all because I don't edit all of the YouTube videos. I don't edit any. I just feel like they need to see what happens behind the scenes. Like, we're real people. Life happens. So you guys have been listening to Kicking It with KeKe, love, life, and all that other shit. I am your host, Author KeKe Chanel. I have been joined with Dave Oliver and my co-host, Real Talk with Tim. Until next time, you guys make sure that you know what you want to do and be specific about doing it. I'm out.